when you get into Photoshop, go ahead and hit Create New. And we're actually going to type in some dimensions today. We're not going to do the preset or one that we've done before. So over on the right hand side, it might say 11 by 17 from when you've done it before. I can't remember if it does or not. Does it still say that? So we're going to change that. So in the width, put 1920. These are going to be the dimensions of your screen. So 1920, and then you've got to make sure it says pixels. Does yours say inches? Change inches to pixels. If you do 1920 inches, it's going to be this massive billboard-sized document, and it'll freeze up your computer. It's crazy. At 100, oh here? Put it in pixels first. Yeah, so it might give you a limit of inches. Yeah. Yeah, so put in pixels first. Great catch. And then change to 1920. Your height is going to be 1200. So it's a little bit bigger. It's not 1080p, so it's a little bit bigger than that. So we're going to do 1200 on that. And then under resolution, we're going to do 72 on resolution. 300, when you do normally 300, that's normal print. That's what printers can print at. When you see something on a screen, the biggest you can go is 72. So if you did it in 300, it's going to make this massive document, but it's really unnecessary because you don't need that many. It'll just shrink it down on the screen anyways. So there's 72 pixels per inch, little colored things per inch on your screen. So 1920 by 1200 pixels, 72. Let's do RGB color. Did yours say CMYK? It should say RGB. Say RGB. Yeah, and then go ahead and hit create. We got the correct size. Mine gave me guides from something earlier. Did you guys get guides? You guys didn't get guides, did you? No. Okay. Okay, now what I want you to do is get some text and go out and just type in your name. You can do first name, last name, just first name. I'm just going to do my last name. Make it pretty big, and then get a good block font. So find something that's pretty blocky. Because of what we're going to do for it. So I'm going to make it good size. And then just go and see some of the fonts you downloaded or whatever you have. It doesn't really matter the color that it is. Okay, now we're going to put an image on there. So go up to File and Place Image. Or Place Embedded. File, Place Embedded. And out on the 704 drive, if you go to the 704 video drive, and then under the 704 video, digital media, there's like some pictures for a clipping mask in there. They're just random nature pictures. Or does it say clipping mask? Clipping mask pictures. So 704 video, digital media, clipping mask pictures. And we're going to play with these four today. Let's just do picture one for now. Okay, now take this picture and make it, put it right above our text, which is good. We want this above our text layer. Go ahead and cover your text, but then stretch that picture to make sure that all your text is covered. Oh, I don't care. Just make sure your text is covered. Okay, go ahead and set that in. Now we're going to put a clipping mask on this, and what a mask does is it's just like a mask that you would put on for Halloween. You see through it. So we're going to make our words, our text is going to be our mask, and then this is what you're going to see through it. So this would be actually behind the text. So that would be like your face through the mask. And there's lots of things that you can do with a mask. Super easy to do. Just go over on your picture number one layer, do a right click on it. So you're right clicking on your picture, and then we're going to do create clipping mask. You see what that did? Super cool, right? And if you notice over on your picture now, it gave you a little teeny arrow. That means it's masking through whatever's underneath it. That tells you you've attached a clipping mask. And you can actually do multiple clipping masks on that. And you can even grab it. If you have that layer selected in your move tool, you can grab that picture and move it around back behind. You can see it moving. You can even Control T it and size it up and put it exactly where you want that to go. Cool, right? Now let's play with it a little bit more too. Let's try it with a different object or something besides text. So let's go over and get a shape. Go over to your shape tool. I want to show you some things with let's do the polygon tool. So click and hold on the shape tool. That's where like your rectangle and lines and stuff are. Go down to the polygon tool and select it. Now before you do anything, go along the top up here. You'll see you've got a fill color and you've got a stroke. And then that 3px right there is going to be how thick your stroke is. And you can put a stroke on there or not. It doesn't matter for what we're doing now. Just make sure you got a fill color in there other than white, your background. And then work your way over quite a ways. There's a little teeny, like it's a settings, like it's a gear, a settings wheel. Click that down because you can take a polygon. A polygon's actually like a stop sign, you know, it's just however many number edges you want. And that's what the sides means. So right now I've got 15 sides. So it's just going to be a 15-sided polygon. But under that settings, there's a check mark for star. So we're going to make a star out of this. This is actually where you'd make a triangle too, if you wanted to make a triangle. Just click on star, and then just do a number of sides up there. You can pick a number of sides that you want to do. So you can do, I don't know what the limit is on sides. And then the indent sides by, like mine says 53%, that's how long your points are going to be. So the greater that number, that means it's going to be like super long. The lower the number, it's just going to be like little sun jaggedy thing. Okay, so go ahead and try it, and then go ahead and just draw a star out on your canvas. You can play with it. There's even one that says, I think it says rounded corners on it. So you could round your edges so that's not a sharp edge. Okay, so let's put a picture in that and do the same thing. So just do your file, place embedded. And let's do picture 2. Just make sure it covers it. Set it in, and then it's just a right click, create clipping mask. Right click, create clipping mask. To get to work. Pretty easy technique, right? Now, if you want to turn the clipping mask off, you can just right-click on that image again, and there's one that says Release Clipping Mask. And that releases it. Then you can do whatever you want with your picture, whatever it happens to be. Okay, let me show you one last technique. Let's use our brushes. Okay, so go grab your brush. Make sure this one you got to make sure you get a new layer though. So you got to make sure you have a new blank layer to paint on, or else it's going to mess up your stuff. When you insert text and a shape, it automatically does that for you. But the brush doesn't do that. So make sure you get a new layer. Grab your brush, and then we have those cool brushes that you did last time. If you happen to have one of those, grab one of those, or just paint something on. And then do the same thing with that. Do a place embedded on your image. Let's do image 3. Ooh, that one's tiny. So you could actually they make like black and white masks all over. If you did a Google search for masks, like Photoshop mask, there's tons of things that are already made. But you could create your own clipping mask, whatever you wanted to create it. You can do brushes and shapes. I mean, everything that we've done here, it doesn't really matter what you use, and then just make a clipping mask out of that. Now, let's go back to some of our other skills that we've had in the past. Let's do, let's pick our shape. Go over to your shape on your layers. Remember our blending options that we did? Play with your blending options for a minute. So do a right click and go up to your blending options. And then play with like your drop shadow, your inner glow. You know, you could put a stroke on it. I can put an inner glow on it. Put a drop shadow on it. Remember, if you click on the words themselves, then you can go and play with those. The bevel emboss looks kind of cool when you do a bevel and emboss with it. But you could do that with your text too. You could do your text, your shapes. I mean, it doesn't really, your brush doesn't really matter what it happens to be. To get it to work. And then to finalize it, to kind of top it off a little bit, we could put an image in the background. You know, so your background just not plain. So I could place embedded that and do that last image. And then just place your layers. If you want a background, just make sure it's on the bottom. Just drag your picture all the way to the bottom. So I'm just going to do, you're just going to just create. So you can create whatever you want to create with your clipping mask. There's 3 different things on here, or 3 different little tutorials that you can watch just to get ideas. You don't have to do any of these. This first one is they take shapes and put like, I think there's like 4 or 5 shapes together. And then they merge those layers together so it creates one clipping mask, but it has a whole bunch of different shapes in it, and then they put something in the background. Put your stuff on TV. You take a TV and you put you inside the TV with the clipping mask, but then he shows you how to put the glass back over the TV so you can kind of see through it. And then image and text is kind of what we did here with the text stuff, so that one won't give you too much information on it. But think about your skills of brushes, blending, you know, all that kind of stuff that we played with. There's your dimensions, 1920 by 1200. You can even delete what we've done today and start over from that, or just start a new one. And then just do whatever you want to create. I'm just going to let you loose for this one. The cool part is down at the bottom, this is going to show you how to put it as an actual wallpaper on your computer. Okay? Can I just let you go, let you create? Okay, have fun with it. Any questions before? Okay, I'll make the rounds, help out.